Hey everybody, it's Kate the West Coast Paper Crafter, and you are joining me for project number 2 with my Potions and Spells card class at home. This project is a little treat box with a glowed up version of Frankenstein's face. There is no stamping with this project. It is super simple, and all the pieces have been cut out with dies from the Potions and Spells die set. So I've used the cauldron, this die for the hair. I've used these circle dies to cut out eyes, and then this die here, which is the cauldron handles, I used that to cut out a mouth. So very simple project, no stamping, just some gluing and cutting. So let's get started. So I'm going to want to start by just putting my eyes together, and then we'll move on to the box. And I want to get the face built because they're just tiny little pieces, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose them if I work on the box first. So yeah, that's my reasoning. All right, so I've got a little glue bottle that my friend Tanya, the Canadian stamper, gave me. She got these off Amazon, and I just filled them up with my Tombow liquid glue, and they're super handy for precision gluing. So that's what I love these for. Now, I just want to be aware that there's a little hole in this white die cut, and I want to cover that up with the black circle. So I'm just making sure that when I put the eye together, that little gap is covered up. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing with the second little eye, just a little bit of glue. And when I glue that on, I'm just going to make sure that gap is covered up. Okay, so the eyes are done. Now, Tombow needs a little bit of time to stick to this glimmer paper. So what I want to do is glue down the face, and then I'm just going to put one of my stamp blocks on top of everything while it sticks together. All right, so I'm adding some glue to the hair. Now this is from the same pack of glimmer paper in the mini catalog. It's just a different shade of green. So if you don't like the green, you could use black. That would look great as well. All right, now after I've got my hair down, I can put my eyes down. I'm going to put the right eye first because I've got that longer piece of hair in the way, and I want to make sure my eyes are going to be the same, or they're both going to be level. I don't want him to have wonky eyes, but I suppose you could have wonky eyes because he is Frankenstein. All right, so eyes are down. Now I've got this little mouth piece. It's too big, so I'm just going to trim it. So I've got this little U. Now I've cut this out of Poppy Parade cardstock. All right, there we go. There is our face. Oh, I need a little bit more glue. And then I'm going to just put a block down on this, so everything sticks really well. Okay. So there, I'm just going to put him to the side. And I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. And we are going to score this piece of 6x6 cardstock. Move everything out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing. We're going to score all sides of this cardstock at 2 inches. So all I'm going to do is just rotate my paper and keep scoring at 2 until I've scored all 4 corners. All right, that's it. put this out of the way. I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to flatten out my score lines so everything is nice and flat. All right, so it doesn't matter which side, pick any side you want. And all we're going to do is from these two score lines, we're going to cut up till we hit that next score line. And I like to cut just a slight bit of an angle, which makes a little skinny wedge. And I do that because when I put my box together, that little tiny wedge just makes everything fit together a little more flush and nicely. All right, so I've cut one side. That looks like this. All right, well, the sun is coming out and it is changing the light at my workstation. So hopefully you can still see everything because it's right in my eyes. Okay, so now all I've done is I've flipped around to the opposite side and I'm going to make the exact same cuts, tiny little wedges. And then our box is going to come together just like so. So super simple. Now you can use Tombow to put your box together, or tear and tape, or Stampin' Seal, whatever you like. So for this one, I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal, and I'm just adding to that flap. So I'm going to glue this flap down right onto where I put that Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to make sure it's flush. The nice thing about Tombow is you do have a little bit of wiggle room. So you just want to make sure you're flush on the edges before you commit to gluing down. And then we'll add some adhesive to this part. I probably will use some Tombow for that because I'm not sure if I'll be able to get my Stampin' Seal on there now that I don't have a flat surface to work with. So I'm just going to add some Tombow. And fold that in and make sure it's even. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of pressure by putting my fingers on the inside of the box and then pressing down with my thumb. And that way that glue is going to get tacky and stick. All right, last side. And there we go. Our box is done. How easy is that? So this will fit a couple little Halloween-sized chocolate bars, which I think is the perfect little treat. Now, this will be the back of our treat box. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue there. And then I'm just going to make sure that the bottom of the cauldron is even. Oops. I just want to make sure that I've got the box on evenly. So my cauldron, I've got a little bit of overhang, which is fine, but I just want to make sure that I can get it nice and even on both sides because the treat box is going to kind of sit on the little cauldron feet. So I want to make sure that's even so it's not crooked. All right, so the back of the box is on. And now I'm just going to take my face, and before I glue him on, I'm going to add some scars. So I tried to do this with a Stampin' Write marker, but it didn't work very well on the Glimmer paper. So I just grabbed a permanent black marker. I love Sharpies. I use them all the time. And I'm going to draw just some face scars random on my Frankenstein box. Oops, like so. Okay, now, where did I put my glue? There it is. The last thing we need to do is just glue the face onto your box. I'm going to flip it around and try to get it the same as the back side. And then that box is going to sit nice on whatever surface you leave it on. So this one I will probably put out for my son the morning of Halloween with a few treats that he can throw in his school bag when he heads off to school. All right, so that's it. That is our little treat box. I should have brought some Halloween candy to show you how cute they just fit in here, but that is it. So you can just throw in whatever you like. If you're fancy, you can put it in a little plastic cellophane bag and add some ribbon and a tag, or just stuff it. I will probably just stuff it. All right, thank you for watching project number 2. And there's one more project to go, so stay tuned for that video. Thanks so much for watching.